Yo, it's me, it's the SCOTT baby. And now that I've reviewed all the X-Men movies, it's time to stop and rank all the X-Men from worst to best, starting at the bottom. Number 12, of course, is X-Men Dark Phoenix. And to save my blood pressure from going up, I'm just going to say this movie is shit. It belongs in the trash. It's absolute worst X-Men film ever made. It shits on the entire franchise. It ignores what they were trying to do. It completely shits all over what they were trying to do with X-Men Days of Future Past. And it just shits all over continuity. Ruins the characters, ruins the franchise, ruins the Dark Phoenix once and for all. And it deserves to be in my vault, oh shit, with Joker and Slender Man. So that's where it's going to go. Number 11 is X-Men Origins Wolverine. For years it was the worst. I appreciate it a little bit more. At least it had creativity in it, and it's the only version of Gambit we're ever going to get. But it's decent in that I enjoy some of the ideas in it. I'm never going to be a big fan of Wolverine and Sabretooth being brothers, which is not a thing in the comics, but, you know, I can enjoy this for what it is. And I can enjoy it. From this point on, I can enjoy all the films in this franchise fine. With the problems that they have, it confuses me, but it's fine. None of these movies piss me off to the point where I just want to throw them out the window like Dark Phoenix. Keep that in mind. Okay, number 10 is X-Men The Last Stand. First time they ruined the Phoenix. First time they ruined the franchise. For a long time, there wasn't another main... Like, this came out in 2006. There wasn't another main series entry until X-Men The First Class in 2011. That's 5 years. You know, when normally it would be a couple years. Which we got X-Men Origins Wolverine, but, you know... But yeah, and it's, while I don't hate it, and there's some good action scenes in there, it deserves to be low on the list. Number 9 is X-Men Apocalypse. They ruin Apocalypse. They show us something with Jean that could be used in their future Dark Phoenix movie, but they ignore that, basically. But you get some good special effects. You get a good idea behind it, at least in theory. And there's some decent acting, some decent characters. You know, it's X-Men. It's not going to be the worst thing. Some things in continuity are going to be abandoned, but at least it still honors some of the stuff. Like the Wolverine stuff, and I like in this. It's pretty cool, even though he's not the right age. But yeah, and that hair thing is the biggest thing that bothers me. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, number 9. Number 8 is, it looks like Deadpool, but Deadpool 2. Yes, some of the stuff that happened pissed me off, but the more I thought about it, and this probably was going to be 11, but I thought about it, you know, it's Deadpool. You're not supposed to take it real seriously, even though that thing at the end pissed me off, like it did with That's a Time Machine 2. I realized it's Deadpool. It's not supposed to be taken seriously, and I can hope that once Deadpool 3 comes out, whatever they're going to call it, they're going to ignore that mid-credit scene thing and just continue from where the end of this movie actually ended. So I can hope, and it's not that bad of a movie. Okay, I gotta switch up this one here. Because number 7 is The Wolverine. Now this one I was unsure of when I first watched this. They're going to Japan, but this ended up setting up Days of Future Past, and while this chapter is no longer relevant with the new future shown to us in Days of Future Past, it's still a good entry, and it's far better than X-Men Origins Wolverine, and fathoms better than Dark Phoenix. I always like to watch this. Whenever it's on TV, I'll turn it on because I really like to watch this one. But yeah, and it nicely foreshadows Logan. So yeah, that's number 7. I gotta switch out again. Sorry. This happens when you only have one of these available at the time. Number 6 is X-Men First Class. Now, far step up from the previous 2 X-Men movies that preceded it. And even though it doesn't directly actually have, because when they announced First Class, I thought, okay, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Beast, Colossus, Angel, because that's from the comics, right? The First Class, Marvel Girl, whatever her name was. But no, you get Havoc, which is Cyclops' brother. You get Beast. You get, they retcon some stuff. As long as it's leading to the right place, I guess it's okay. And in hindsight, it didn't. But I like the use of the Hellfire Club. I like Kevin Bacon's villain. I like the way they have the chart that James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender play off each other. It's a good film. Another one that when it's on, I'll just flip to the channel and watch it. I enjoy watching this. Now, controversy. Because some people put this as number 1 on their list. And I acknowledge it's the best Wolverine movie. But for me, it's not the best X-Men movie. There are 4 more I like better than it. Logan. Well, 3 X-Men movies and a Deadpool. But Logan. It's a very good film. If I watch it, I only watch the noir version because the black and white suits it. But it's a very good film. I like it. It's the best Wolverine film. It's the best story with Wolverine, I think. And I know it sort of rehashes the losing powers thing from the second one. And while I don't really care for that, it's pretty good. And just the story it tells, he's trying to survive. Folks, not post-apocalyptic world, but all his friends and family, they're gone. People he said were friendly, they're gone. And, he's probably at the bottom because he went through time to save his friends. They're all gone because Professor had lost control of his powers. And now he's alone. It's a good story to end Wolverine's journey on. And it was a great ending for him. And that's why it's number 5. Number 4 is X-Men Days of Future Past. And while Dark Phoenix may have shit all over this ending, I do like the ending to this film. It cements that they did what they set out to do. They retconned The Last Stand. They retconned Origins, and they gave us what we wanted before they shit all over it with future sequels. But while I don't like the way that Logan went, at least it told us that it was far, far in the future before we'd even get to it, especially since we were doing it in prequel form. And so they're saying that that's going to happen way in the future and probably not going to revisit those characters in present time anyway. But then they just shit all over it. But this is still a decent film. It adapts to Days of Future Past well. Not the way I remember it in the animated series, but still well. And it's great. Okay, and that's number 4. Number 3, we have to go back to this thing. And number 3 is going to be the one, the only, the original X-Men movie. X-Men. This was big for its time, the first big budget kind of film. X-Men 2000, no one knew what it was going to be, and it surprised people. You watch it now, the effects aren't that great. Some of the one-liners are kind of eh. But for a film from that kind of time, especially since Daredevil came out after this, I think it still holds up pretty well. Number 2 is gonna be, and I'm just gonna Deadpool. Second best in the franchise. I think it delivers the laughs, the gore and stuff. It's a great film. Second best in the franchise. Ryan Reynolds gives it his all. He redeems the character of Deadpool from what they did to it in X-Men Origins Wolverine, and he delivers. This is his baby. It's his pet project. It's what he wanted to do from the beginning. He got it out there, and he did it. It's a great film. That's number 2. Number 1, still, X2, X-Men United. You may be sitting here going, wait a minute. Still? I mean, there's people who say Logan's the best. There are people who say Days of Future Past is better. First Class. But I still like this one. Stryker's a good villain. They may ruin Lady Deathstrike. That's fine. They do what they want. They made her a henchwoman. Whatever. But you bring in Nightcrawler, is one of my favorite X-Men, of course. You bring in, you got Magneto, who I've mentioned isn't necessary to have in every main X-Men movie, but come on. But you bring in that kind of conflict where he's got to help them, but he's still got his own intentions. They got to rescue the professor. They got to rescue Scott. They got to, save the day. Bigger, better, and what they hint toward at the end with Dark Phoenix is something greater than we could ever have expected. And it shits on us. We expected something greater than we could ever be given. And they shit on us both times. But to me, this is still the best. It's where Hugh Jackman's at his best. In an X-Men ensemble film, I should say. It's where most of the characters are at their best before they get shit on in the rest of this franchise. It's my favorite of the X-Men films. And I like to watch this probably more than the other films. It's one of those, maybe except for Logan, anything from 7 upward, I'll watch if it's on TV. Logan, maybe, but like I said, Logan doesn't have that rewatchability. That's why it's so low on the list, too, is that it doesn't have the rewatchability of other ones. But I enjoy most of these X-Men movies. The only one that I probably won't ever watch again is Dark Phoenix. I'm sorry to say, but it's staying in this shitbox, and it's not coming out. So, yeah, so what are your thoughts on my ranking? In the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Tomorrow we start the Fantastic Four, I think. Maybe. Bye.